Hello and welcome once again with the extended demo of the Divine Speaker. This is part 6. I think we're getting towards the end. If this is what the extended demo is like in length, what's the whole game going to be like? Because this is only a small part of the beginning of the game. There's still 3 routes and the rest of the common route to go. This is going to be extraordinarily long. And I'm very excited for that. I love long fantasy games. It's just, they're a lot more difficult to do uploads of because they take twice as long when you're speaking them, not rather than just reading them. But as a player, this is my favorite kind of game. Something that you can just get lost in for hours and hours. And so far, this game has gorgeous boys, it's got mystery, it's got gorgeous design, the art is fantastic, the music sucks me in. I love this game so much and it's not even out yet. So when we left off, Raen had an educational experience. He had met a new friend and they're going to explore the city together to see if they can find answers on their mystery prince and what's going on in this weird town that everyone's locked behind closed doors. It would make sense if Sign knows his way around to go with Sign. Start to feel a little bit guilty about always leaving Fawn behind. But I also love the Leos banter, and we're going a Leos theme with all this, so stick with Leos and you'll be safe. Stick with Leos.
Leos, why don't we go together? Just to be safe.
Smart choice.
Lame. I'll steal you away next time then, Raen. Don't worry though, Fawn. You're really cute too. I don't mind keeping you company. Maybe you're a little too sweet looking though. It makes me want to eat you up.
What? You're just gonna leave me with this guy? Only for a little while. I think spreading out is a good idea.
Fawn evidently really doesn't like Sign. Obviously he's jealous because of how flirty and forward Sign is towards Raen, but he really doesn't like him.
Let's just start looking. We'll meet back here later, okay? Alright.
He sounds so disappointed. In an instant, Fawn was being pulled along by Raen. By Sign, I mean. He would be very happy if it was pulled along by Raen. And they quickly disappeared around the corner. I feel a little worried about his safety.
Do you think Fawn will be okay?
Do you want me to be honest, or is it okay if I lie?
Maybe it was a bad idea to let Sign drag him away.
What's done is done. If we never see them again, oh well. 2 less people for me to worry about.
Don't say that.
He's definitely up to something.
Who? Sign?
We don't know a thing about him, and he's following us around everywhere. He's a disaster waiting to happen.
He doesn't seem too bad. He's trying to help us.
But why? I mean, what does he stand to gain out of this?
To gain?
Everyone has motives. He's hoping to get something from us. Nobody helps others for free.
Even you? And Fawn?
I said everyone, didn't I? Oh, would you look at that? People. Let's go.
Leos dropped the conversation and found his way over to the lone man. He was staring at the sky silently.
Excuse me. What?
His eyes darted suspiciously between Leos and I.
We're looking to locate someone.
It's very important to me. His name is Caspian, or Cass for short. Have you heard of him?
I don't know who you're talking about, and I don't have the time for your stupid questions.
Well, maybe you have the time to...
It's fine, Leos. Thank you anyway.
He went back to staring up at the sky. He's a little strange.
Well, that's disappointing. Starting to feel like we'll never find him. I remember someone from over 18 years ago.
Giving up so soon? We've barely started.
Talk to one person. It's not working! He paused for a moment and looked down at my arm.
You know, I've never seen your markings up close.
Really? I guess I mostly keep them covered up.
Oh. Does he want to see them? Why doesn't he just ask normally?
Do you want to have a look?
Nearly as much as I'd like to take a look at Sign's ass.
Whoa! You want to see his ass?
No,
That's a little strange.
No, you don't understand. Forget it. Here, give me your arm.
He pulled up my arm and rolled up my sleeve roughly. The black markings running up my arm would have been exposed to everyone if anyone was around. I almost forgot they were there. If only.
What could they mean?
Maybe it's a curse after all.
Whoops.
Oh no, you're definitely cursed. Cursed to be an idiot who attracts annoying guys.
What does that make you?
What? Including yourself?
He ignored me and traced the markings with his fingertips. The light touch sent a shiver down my spine. He cast his eyes downward, deep in concentration. When he makes a face like that, I could almost forget his personality and the things he's done up until now. He just looks like a normal person. His fingertips traveled down my skin and stopped as the markings ended. He stayed still for a moment, contemplating. His hand felt cool against my warm skin. Impatiently, I waited for his fingers to keep moving downwards. When it didn't, I lightly touched his hand.
Hey. Leos,
Oh, new faces. That's rare.
Quickly, I rolled my sleeve down and Leos pulled his hand away from mine. We both turned to the voice that called out to us. Just ahead was a man with black hair, leaning against a wall and watching us. Compared to the rest of the people we've met, he seemed relatively calm. He watched us approach with a neutral expression on his face. And those glasses, they looked expensive. I've never seen such a fancy pair. As we got closer, his eyes went wide.
What are you doing in Oxaber? We don't tend to get many visitors anymore.
He looked me up and down, the same astounded expression on his face.
Oh, we're looking for a man that came through here a while ago. His name is Caspian, or Cass for short.
Caspian? But you couldn't be.
My name's Raen. Oh, and this is Leos.
Raen? I could have sworn you looked just like... Forget it.
Wait, you know him?
Look just like...
Do you know where he could be?
Just
I
like
know
who?
Or well, I knew him.
Fancy man. Hey, he's almost got the same chain as Sign.
As for where he went,
He looked between Leos and I.
I'll tell you. But I need something from you too.
Wow, wow.
What?
We can't talk about it now. Meet me back here tonight, after sunset.
He turned around and left nonchalantly.
What the hell was that?
I have no clue. What do we do?
Well, sounds like a trap. What we do is ignore him and keep asking around.
But he recognized the name. He's our only lead. Why don't we go find Sign and Fawn, and then think about what we should do?
We quickly retraced our steps back to our meeting point, where Sign and Fawn were already waiting for us.
Guys, did you find out anything?
Oh, I learned a lot. Apparently Fawn doesn't like it if I tease him, or touch his hair, or grab his hand. He's no fun.
That's, not helpful.
And we got stuck talking to a group of kids that wanted to braid his hair.
Aww.
They wouldn't leave me alone. They kept asking me questions.
A failure then.
Well, we ran into a guy with dark hair and glasses. Unlike everyone else, he didn't avoid us or seem scared. He recognized the name Caspian and said knows him. Used to know him. But he'll only tell us if we help him with something. He wants to meet tonight, after sundown. Is that a good idea? Meeting up with a stranger at night? Honestly, even I can tell it sounds sketchy, but it's all I have to go on.
If you're set on going, then fine. As long as I'm there, he won't be able to try anything.
I'll come along
So
too then.
dependable.
It sounds like fun.
Fun? Thanks, guys. It's decided then. We just need to waste some time until night.
I still think it's a bad idea. I mean, what else could it be when you came up with it?
Hey!
With such a big, strong man to protect us, we'll be fine.
Not long ago, you called me a noodle. I have no obligation or want to help you.
He's so upset about being called a noodle. But noodles are delicious. A spicy noodle. Look at that hair. Who goes fast because he's red.
Obligation?
He's certainly fast
That's
to
an
anger.
interesting way to put it. I wonder how someone like you could have been indebted to someone like Raen.
It's none of your business.
What about our little fawn? Will you keep him safe too? Or is that reserved for your brown-haired beau?
Every time you open your mouth, it makes me die inside a little more.
I think that's enough teasing. What do we do until later?
Look at Sign's face. He's so cute.
How about lunch? It's on me.
Oh, and now he's back to Sly.
Well, I am starving.
It's settled then. Come with me.
Sign turned and started leading the way without missing a beat. His confidence is astounding. Before I could even take a step, Fawn took my arm.
Raen, I don't know if this is a good idea.
Agreed.
What do you mean? You have to be careful who you end up owing. We're accepting too much from him, with no way to pay him back.
He wants something from us.
Oh, that's a codex. Ah. Fawn and Sign. Leos and Fawn are a little worried about how friendly he's being. I think he's probably just a nice guy. But they're sure he's after something. Of course he's after something.
You think so? Isn't he just being friendly?
No, there's something else to him. I think he's a lot smarter than he lets on.
Well, I can't help that I'm starving. Aren't you two hungry? Yeah.
Come on, slowpokes! I'll starve to death before we get down the street at this rate.
We're coming! Let's just go along with him and eat for now. We'll work out what to do about him later. I do think he's just being helpful, though. He's a little strange, but he seems nice enough.
Does he?
Nothing gets through your thick head.
We caught up with Sign and followed him through the streets of Oxbor. And I started to notice little details I hadn't caught before. Most of the trees were dead, and there was very little greenery. Compared to the quaint feel of Stagwitch, it was much more industrial looking. Colder. We were told that it was a haven for glass production. It felt like one giant factory.
Where are we going to eat? I'm starving.
I know a nice little place. Hopefully they're a little more welcoming than everyone else we've met.
That wouldn't be hard.
The people here, they're a little less than friendly.
We can talk about it over lunch. Hurry up!
Sign hurried back out into the main street again. Oh, into main streets. Again, they were empty. It looked so deserted. It was hard to imagine anyone actually living here.
We're here!
Above the doorway that sign stood in was a sign that read, "The Lighthouse."
This place is my favorite!
We all shuffled in while Sign held open the door. Oh, look at him! Almost instantly, we were led to a secluded table, surrounded by petitions. You could kill someone in here and no one would notice. That's an interesting observation. Everything was pristine and lavish. It looked a little...
This looks a little expensive.
Oh, don't worry about that. Didn't I say lunch is on me?
I could feel the stares coming from Leos and Fawn. Something about accepting gifts that I have no way to pay back. Okay. But Leos had no problem letting Sign pay for all these whips. I'm sure it's fine. After this, we'll go our separate ways and probably never see each other again. He might be a little overly friendly, but he seems like a nice enough guy. Just accepting lunch shouldn't be a big deal.
Thank you, then. We're all starving. I don't think we've eaten anything since yesterday morning.
No problem. You know me. I'm a generous guy.
No, we don't know you. Why are you being so generous?
Ignoring Leos's question, Sign waved over the waiter.
Could you please bring us menus now? We're ready to order.
Right away, Sir Sign.
Leos eyed up this Leos eyed up this exchange warily.
Oh, they know you by name. Thought you weren't from around here.
I visit a lot.
Your personal menu, sir.
Thank you. Feel free to order whatever you want. They handpicked these dishes just for me, after all.
I looked over the menu. It almost seemed to be in a foreign language. There wasn't even a single thing that I recognized. What is all of this? I looked at Fawn and he seemed equally puzzled.
What is all of this?
What do you mean? It's the menu.
I've never heard of any of this.
What? Seriously? Were you raised in a barn or something? Oh, wait. You're a forest boy. That's right. What about you two then?
Yeah, I've never tried any of this. I've never even heard of them. Leos?
Me either.
Well, pardon my manners. How about I just pick out a few and we can share them around?
That sounds great.
He beckoned the staff over and chose out a few items from the menu for all of us. He definitely does this a lot. He always talks casually, but there's a slight change in his tone when he talks to them. Like, there's some hint of authority. And the staff cater to his every whim. This doesn't look like the kind of place you'd usually share food. In the blink of an eye, numerous dishes were sprawled out across the table. Even Fawn and Leo's eyes went huge, despite being doubtful before.
Dig in!
The situation was similar to yesterday morning, when Nico's laid out a feast for us. We all loaded our plates with a little bit of everything.
Wait. None of this has cow's feet in it, right?
Huh?
Ignore him.
Trauma! I ate a few forkfuls of food before turning my attention back to the group.
So, I think we should try and compile what we know about this place.
Does it matter? In the end, it has nothing to do with us. Talk to that guy later, then get out of here.
If we have any hope of finding information about Caspian, then it's here. That guy might not even know anything.
It's still not our job to go around fixing everyone's problems. Whatever's going on here has nothing to do with us.
Still, aren't you even a little bit interested? I know I am.
I have to admit, even I'm curious.
See? So, what do we know?
We know that the town is practically deserted.
But rather than deserted, they're all hiding inside. Anyone we've met outside has been terrified.
Lila's mentioned something about people going missing, and the town center is somehow involved.
I'm here every few months, and it's not usually this bad.
I chewed slowly on my food and thought about it. No matter how I turned it around in my head, I couldn't work out what was going on.
Yet this restaurant is operating like normal. Maybe the waiter would know something?
Waiter?
In an instant, he was at He was at Sign's side. Oh, Sign's side. The service is impeccable.
You must know. What's going on around town? Why is everyone so quiet?
He looked away with a frightened expression on his face.
I'm not sure I can. I shouldn't talk about it, but masses of people have been going missing.
Masses? Where could masses of people be going?
We have no clue, but some of them. Some of their bodies have been turning up all around town as if they were on display. Well, what was left of their bodies, anyway. I'm sorry, I can't say any more.
Nonsense. You told us enough. Thank you.
Sign slipped a few coins into his hands and he left after thanking him profusely.
It's even worse than we were expecting.
When you think about it calmly, we only have one option. We leave. There is no point in risking our lives unnecessarily.
It's not unnecessary. I need to find him.
No, you don't. You can live your life without him. Just forget he exists.
I do. Otherwise, I'll never find out anything about these markings.
Markings?
That's... No, it's nothing.
Oh, for the love of... don't bother. At this point, you might as well tell him. With a mouth that big, it's a wonder you kept it a secret for this long.
I hung my head. It's just like Leia says. I'm too reckless. But I didn't mean to blurt it out.
Well...
He looked on eagerly. After checking that no one was looking, I rolled up my sleeves and showed him the markings that ran down my arm.
So it was you after all.
What?
Everyone around Stagwitch was talking about a boy with markings up his arm. I had no clue it was you. Isn't this a pleasant surprise?
Oh.
He lightly touched the dark characters.
I don't suppose you recognize them.
No, but I can't help but feel that I've seen them somewhere before.
That's how I feel too.
How did you get them? And what does it have to do with finding this guy?
It just appeared one day. It was all such a blur, but I ended up exiled from Aurelia Cavella and alone in the forest. Caspian is the only name I have to go off of, but he might not even be alive. But if he is, then he might know what this means.
Wait, Aurelia Cavella?
You've heard of it?
Well, of course. Who hasn't? With a history as bloody as ours, everyone wants to believe it really exists. A mythical city, deep in the forest, free of taints from the outside world, led by the fabled divine speaker who acts as a voice for the gods. It's a fun story. Imagine if there actually was a place like that. Wouldn't that be amazing?
The confused Leo's noses kill me.
What do you mean, a story? That's where I come from. And Leo's too. Aurelia Cavella.
Wait, seriously? It's not made up?
Everything you said about it is true too. The speaker leads the town and acts as a voice between the gods and ourselves. And it is deep in the forest.
Whoa. Wait a second. He actually exists? I thought he was just a legend. No one's heard about there actually being a divine speaker in hundreds of years.
It's true. He's really tall, with long white hair.
Sounds handsome. Anyone
Very
can introduce me?
handsome.
Wait, tell us the story you know about it.
Why?
It may yet be hiding more truths.
Well, if you really want to know, I guess I can tell you. It's a long one, and it isn't pretty. At least some of it is a true story, up until a point, but the rest of it was shrouded in mystery. Or so if you really want to
Oopsie.
know, at least some of it is a true story, up until a point, but the rest of it was shrouded in mystery. Or so I thought, anyway. Over 500 years ago, Sid Cain was ruled both by the king and by the divine speaker. The two would work together, with equal rights to rule over the land. People would travel from far and wide to be blessed by the Aurelian gods. The religion was spread out over most of Vidus at this point. While they seemed to work together well on the outside, everyone knew that it was tense between the king and the speaker. I just don't know why. Was the king mad that the speaker got so much attention? Did he want to rule over Sid Cain alone? Anyway, I see relationships continued over the generations before it culminated in the war 500 years ago.
A war?
Our king rallied to remove the speaker from power and got support from all his council. He decreed that the speaker and all of the Aurelian gods were to be outlawed and that anyone found worshipping them would face death. Of course, the speaker didn't take too kindly to this, and thus continued the bloody history of our kings and their speakers. A great war that cost many lives between the believers and the non-believers. That's the end of the stuff I knew was true. Some say the speaker died there, along with most of his followers. But that's too boring, isn't it? Others say that Prince Xion, one of the twin princes who disagreed with his father and brother, left with the speaker and their followers, and formed a city of their own, Aurelia Cavella. I always thought that sounded a little too romantic, but who knows?
No way.
Oh, wow.
What?
Prince Xion of Sid Cain, of course. He was in our records as the founder of Aurelia Cavella 500 years ago. At the time, I thought that was strange. If we're the only civilization, then why did it only start then? Does that mean they've just been hiding it from us? Does the speaker secretly know?
Of course he knows! He's the speaker! And I guess someone censored the books. It might not be him. He could be some kind of just figurehead who knows nothing. And is utterly useless except for looking pretty on the stage.
Is he really lying to us?
Or he could be some kind of bad guy, I guess. He did want Raen killed. He's definitely got his nose put out of joint about something to do with whoever Raen looks like. We're assuming it. I'm assuming it's going to be Caspian. He keeps getting told he looks exactly like him by other people as well, so. Does Raen have two dads? Speaker and Caspian? Is that what this is gonna be?
I don't know anymore.
But I really want to know what the Speaker's story is. This just makes me so much more curious. Who is he? What is his actual thing? Like, does he even actually speak to the gods? Is he just some pretty man in gold face paint who acts like he knows things, but really he's just some figurehead with a bunch of censored books who doesn't know anything? Or is he actually the bad guy in control of the town who's keeping them subservient and in the dark about everything? Either way, he's shady.
We have no king in Aurelia Cavella anymore. The royal family died.
History really does repeat itself. Maybe kings and speakers are always destined to fight.
Are you saying that Speaker could have been the one to kill them?
Who knows? I'm just saying it's a possibility. I don't know anything.
I don't know.
I should say this, but Caspian was the last prince of Aurelia Cavella. Apparently he never took up the crown and died with his family, but it looks like he might have escaped. That's why we're searching so desperately.
Could the speaker know about this? Did he know Caspian? Of course he knew him. What? Surely the speaker would know the prince. I mean, but I guess when did he become speaker though, I guess? Was it before or after the royal family? He does say you look exactly like him though, and everyone's been saying you look exactly like Caspian. Surely that has got to mean something. Sign finished up the last forkful of food on his plate and turned to look at me.
Why don't we talk more outside?
Okay.
He hailed the waiter and discreetly handed him money. This wasn't a cheap meal.
Here's a tip just for you, handsome.
Thank you, sir.
The food was delicious, but I couldn't help but be left with a sour taste in my mouth. As we pushed open the door, we noticed that the skies were already dark. We must have been in there for hours without realizing.
So, let's get this straight. Aurelia Cavella actually exists, you got cursed or something, and you were thrown out. Then you met these two? Why exactly were you thrown out?
I was told I could find out something about my markings in our archive. But it seems like that wasn't true.
Nah. It was true. You found something. You just weren't supposed to be in there.
The speaker found me there and threw me straight out.
I was hired to tell him that. I don't know by whom.
Doesn't that seem a little suspicious? Did you do something to upset the speaker of yours?
What? No! That was the first time I'd ever even spoken to him. We lived in completely different worlds, so I never met him before.
If you say so.
He doesn't believe
sounds
him.
like some kind of setup to me.
Yeah, it does.
I don't think I did anything that would upset someone.
Well, since you're blabbing about everything, you should also mention that I was sent to kill you.
Whoa, are you still trying to kill him?
No. If you mention any of this to anyone, you're dead.
You can trust me. I'm the most trustworthy person around.
Sure, if you were the only person in the room.
Have I done anything to show that I'm untrustworthy?
That I'm untrustworthy? I love everything about Sign. God, he's so amazing. There's still more I haven't told them, but it's probably best I keep it to myself for now. Even Leox doesn't know about my dreams or what happened with Fawn that night. Fawn said it was best to keep that to myself, so I might just leave it for now. Now that I think about it, was visiting the archives really enough reason for an execution? I never thought the speaker was a cruel man before. Then again, if he knew about the outside world, would he have agreed to have me expelled? I don't know. Okay. There's two possible ways that I can see the speaker kicking him out going. Either he was meant to die out there, for real, or speaker is purposely trying to get him out of Aurelia Cavella. Maybe he knows something that Raen needs to fix, and the only one dumb enough to do something was Potato Boy here. Or maybe he really was supposed to die in the forest because he did find out something that he wasn't supposed to, but who told him to, who hired Leos to tell him to go to the archives, and why Raen, and Speaker has to know about him because he made eye contact with him, but could he really actually see him from up on that balcony? Some magical connection between them. I don't know what's going on. And this game is meant to come out next year in like the first quarter somewhere. What's first quarter? That would probably be what, around March or so? Yeah, probably around then. And I'm dying to find out. It's all so interesting, and there's so many things that it could possibly be. And it'd be interesting to hear anyone else's theories as well. Maybe there's more to this. Maybe there's something more to this after all. Or maybe I'm overthinking it.
So, all of that led you here to find a man who may have answers.
That's right.
Then what Leo said isn't true. Finding him is important. And I'll help you, of course. I can't just leave now when it's getting interesting. I'm like a saint or something.
Saint San! Fawn stayed quiet for a lot of this conversation. I looked towards him just as he opened his mouth.
What if we never find him?
Then I'll deal with that when I get to it, I guess.
Let's be positive. I think it's about time to meet up with our mystery man anyway.
I think you're right.
I took a deep breath. The air was cool. The further I got from home, the colder it was. For some reason, I felt nervous as we made our way back to where we first met the man.
Sign, I wanted to ask you something. What do you know about Oxybor?
What do I know? They make the best toys.
Answer seriously.
Fine, fine. I know that the Murano family controls most of their town.
The Muranos? We heard a little bit about them before. They run the glass production here?
That's right. You know, knowledge is pretty attractive in a guy.
Is that all you know?
Oh, you should look elsewhere though. Raen knows little about anything.
I heard the Murano family originally came from Sidcaim, but ran here with their tails between their legs a few hundred years ago. They built Oxybor up from nothing.
Did they do something wrong?
He shrugged at my question.
No clue. I've never looked into it myself.
We walked through the dim streets on our way to meet our mystery man. Everything was dead quiet. That itself isn't much different to earlier, but it gave off an eerier feeling when the only thing lighting the streets was the moon. Every step we took echoed through the empty streets. We didn't say it to each other, but we had a silent agreement to watch each other's backs. Something felt wrong. It doesn't feel like we're in the middle of a city. It feels the same as that night I ran through the forest alone. A deadly quiet. When we finally arrived at the spot from earlier, we could see someone leaning against the dark walls, illuminated by the moonlight. As we approached, he turned to face us.
So, you came after all.
He looked between our faces. Probably wasn't expecting there to be so many of us.
Come with me.
His voice is beautiful too. He turned and started walking into the darkness. He didn't check to see if we were following. I took a deep breath. There's only one thing to do.
Come on, before we lose him.
Leos gave me a serious look and Fawn looked worried. I wasn't scared before, but now that we're here, in the middle of the night, in pitch black darkness, I put those feelings away and follow after the mysterious man. We caught up quickly. He was walking slowly, but with a purpose. He didn't say a word. After a few minutes of silent travel, he stopped in front of a large house. It was hard to see in the dark, but it looked truly magnificent. There was a high fence surrounding the property with a large metal gate. I'd never seen anything like it. A plaque on the gate read, Murano.
Stay quiet.
I gave him a small nod and we followed him through the gateway and inside the house. We found no reprieve from the vast darkness outside. It was pitch black. Not a single candle or lantern in sight. Once we were all inside, he closed the door with a thud. He lifted a candle from the table and lit it, but it didn't make it any less creepy. Slowly, he used the candle to light 2 lanterns. Light spread out over our surroundings. Everything was so grand. A large staircase took up most of my vision. Beautiful wooden floorboards and expensive decorations. At home, everything was much more practical. This could only be a show of money.
My parents are away, and we're the only ones here. We can talk freely.
We followed you all the way here. Tell us what you know.
Soon.
This is a waste of time. We're leaving.
No, wait.
Leo's turned and jiggled the doorknob. It was stuck.
I locked it behind us. Don't worry, I won't do anything to you. I just need you to listen to me. I know about Caspian. I know where he went. I'll tell you. But I need your help.
In the middle of the night? You can't get our help during the day?
No. I mean, it's easier to talk now. No one will hear us.
What could be so secret you need no one to hear?
I'm sure you've noticed. Everyone is on edge.
We have.
I'm sure you've also heard that these people have been going missing, with some turning up dead.
That's right.
The ones that turn up, they can barely be called bodies. Their arms and legs are usually missing, and their faces are nothing but a bloody pulp, if they have one. What you might not know, the people that have gone missing, and the ones that have turned up dead, they were all foretold.
What?
Foretold.
In the center of town is where we pay respect to our dead. The names of the recently deceased are shown on our town notice board. At first, no one noticed. If a name or two appeared, who would read them all to check?
Are you saying...
The names of the living were being added slowly over time. We thought it was a kid playing a joke.
It's a bit of a rough joke.
But when they started turning up dead, no one thought it was a joke anymore.
How long has this been going on for?
Years. Only now have they ramped up enough for people to notice.
I could feel my heart beating 1,000,000 times a second. Leo, Sign, and Fawn all looked equally shaken. This is too far above us.
Why? Why didn't you call for help? The king could have...
The king's long since forgotten us. Not that he'd help people like us anyway. Whatever's killing them, it has to be stopped.
You want us to stop it?
I can't do it alone. I'll be killed too.
This is too dangerous, right? We're not gonna risk our lives for something like this.
He whipped off his glasses, a desperate look in his eyes. That doesn't look desperate, that looks angry, but very attractive. He's very hot when he's angry.
Wait, please. I know about Caspian. I'll tell you if you can help me. I know a lot about him.
What to pick? Ask more about the people that have gone missing. Ask about Caspian. Ask about him. Is this one of those ones where you can pick all of them or only pick one? Ask more about people who've
If we're
gone
going
missing.
to help you, you have to tell us more about the people that have gone missing.
You can't be serious.
Is there any pattern to the people that have gone missing?
Not that I've noticed. Kids, adults. It's not picky.
How many people have gone missing?
I couldn't count how many. In the beginning, it was only a few. People go missing occasionally, so it wasn't weird for 1 or 2 a year. But now, handfuls. Every month. 5, 10, 15.
That many?
Something about this guy is definitely off, but whatever's going on here is serious.
Can you at least tell us your name?
My name? I remember. You can call me Nox.
He remembers his own name. This is good. It's good to remember your own name.
Nox?
That's right.
Noxy boy.
My name is Raen, and this is Leo, Spawn, and Sign. Can I have a moment to talk to my friends about this?
Of course. I'll go prepare things while I wait.
Slowly, Nox ascended the stair and left our view. As soon as he was gone, Leos grabbed me by the shoulder.
Are you out of your mind? How badly do you want to die?
What? I don't. What other choice do we have?
What do you mean, what other choice do we have? Stop saying that. We turn around now and leave. This isn't our problem.
Really? It seems like our problem to me.
How could you think this has anything to do with us?
Well, we're locked in here.
If we say no, will he let us out?
I glanced around the dimly lit room. There were other doors leading further into the house, but who knows if any led outside.
I didn't get a chance to say this earlier, but this is the Murano estate. You all saw the name on the gate, right?
I did notice that. Is he?
Not to cause any alarm, but as far as I'm aware, there's no one named Nox in the Murano family.
I'm scared.
Don't be. We'll be fine.
I hope he can't hear the way my voice is shaking, or see my hands trembling. Okay. Agree to help him. Try to escape. One of these leads you to a bad ending. One of these still leads you to a bad ending, depending on your choices. I'm going to agree to help him.
We have to agree to help him. I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling. I feel like if we try to leave...
I feel that too.
I don't think he's dangerous. I think he just desperately needs help.
I agree. Plus, you won't find out anything if we just leave. And if you're sad, I'm sad too.
Oh, baby.
This isn't the time to be joking around. This is serious.
Come on, I'm just trying to lighten the mood a little.
He's so angular. Look at him. I like that he hunches too. He's wearing heels and he hunches.
You're always head first into danger. Fine. All right, we'll help him. But if he doesn't tell us what we want to know...
The sound of footsteps echoed down the stairs as Nox rejoined our group.
Have you thought about it? Will you help me?
We will. But you have to tell us everything you know about Caspian.
And you'll be telling us now.
I'll tell you half now. No more.
And the other half after?
That's right.
I guess that seems fair.
Start then.
Caspian. When I was much younger, only a small child, that's when I met him. I was in the markets with my mother. Standing in the center looking lost was a boy much older than me. He had messy brown hair. I remember. And a curious look on his face. The way he looked at the world. It was like it was his first time seeing it.
And then what happened?
My mother. She asked him if he had any place to go, but he didn't. And he stayed with us for a time, and we became close. He felt like an older brother, really. I wish that we could stay together forever.
Oh, look at that smile. Oh, is it just the makeup he's wearing, or does he have really dark bags?
He never told my mother or father about where he came from, but he told me that it was from land far away, and he had no choice but to leave. He always had a sad look in his eyes. Then, his name. One night, his name. It appeared. I couldn't. I wouldn't.
This voice acting. Nox's voice actor is amazing. God, it's so good.
There's no way I'd let it happen to him.
So, you're saying he left. Have you seen him since?
I haven't seen him in nearly 20 years, but I promise. I can assure you, he's alive. It didn't get him.
It?
Okay, but we can't search in the middle of the night.
Yeah, you gotta let us out first. Then we can investigate tomorrow.
No. You'll use the spare bedrooms tonight.
What? You gotta be kidding me. What, are you trying to keep us hostage here?
No. But the streets are dangerous. Do you have anywhere else to stay?
He's got a point. As creepy as it is here, we may have to take him up on it.
Rain.
Calm down, guys. He's just showing us some hospitality. Right?
Right. It's not safe out there. You'll be fine for the night if you stay here.
Everyone looked uneasy. Ask for Sign's opinion. Ask for Leos' opinion. Ask for Fawn's opinion. Fawn's gonna say I'm scared. Sign's gonna be like, adventure! But for this playthrough, we value Leos over all others, so ask for Leos' opinion.
Leos.
It's gonna be crabby though.
What do you think?
What do I think? I think this place looks lovely, and I'd be ecstatic at the opportunity to stay the night. Wow, how lucky I am.
He's so sarcastic. It's not helpful at all. For tonight, I think it's best if we just do what he says.
Just for tonight, alright?
Of course.
That wasn't a very convincing response.
I've always wanted to sleep over in a haunted house.
Ooh, me too.
I'm not serious.
No, but I am.
I'd visit a haunted house with Sign. For sure.
Let me show you to your rooms. Follow me.
He slowly rose back up the stairwell, and we all followed behind him. Is this really the right choice? As I looked around at our eerie surroundings, I wasn't so sure. Every step we took away from the entry hall, the further we plunged once again into the darkness.
You can use these 4 rooms. They're all free. I suggest not lighting any candles, and don't wander around.
Why?
I wouldn't want you to fall asleep and leave it going. I've seen whole houses burned down because of simple mistakes.
I see.
Lock your door behind you, and try to be out before sunrise.
Wow, that's not creepy at all.
The earlier you start searching, the better.
Okay. Thank you, Nox. We'll be sure to do that.
Then I'll take my leave. As for tomorrow, there's a lot of leads to follow, so good luck.
Good night.
Nox quietly faded into the darkness and left the 4 of us standing alone in the hall.
What are we doing here?
At least we have somewhere to spend the night.
But why do we have to lock the doors?
Maybe he's worried about burglars?
Maybe he's worried that if I don't lock the door, he won't be able to resist me.
That could be it.
Or he's worried that something will come in and get us.
That couldn't be true. If we just do what he tells us, I'm sure we'll be fine and be able to leave tomorrow.
Yeah, it's more plausible that he won't be able to resist himself against Sign than there's something gonna get ya in the middle of the night. Whatever helps you sleep.
So you agree? He's basically holding us hostage.
Yes.
Could be worse places to be kept as hostages.
Like?
Like places that don't let us all have a king-sized bed for free. He's not even chaining us up. Not that I'd mind.
I'm glad you're so easy to please.
That's not what people usually say about me. I'll let you have a try if you want, though. More than one try, just for you. In fact, be my guest and try all night.
Oh, I love that dynamic. It's so chaotic and sassy. The banner is so good.
What?
I think it's bedtime.
Are you going to be okay by yourself, Fawn?
I'll lock the door, so I should be fine.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll take this room then.
Night-night. Sleep tight.
Ugh.
Leos, if you get lonely, you know where my room is.
I'll be fine by myself. Thanks anyway.
I love him so much. Leo slammed the door behind him, leaving Cyan snickering.
Good night.
Good night, Fawn. If anything happens, come get me.
I will. Thanks, Raen.
The other two gently closed their doors behind them. The sudden emptiness made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. For some reason, staying out here alone felt like a bad idea. I quickly entered the room and shut the door behind me. The room was dark and stuffy. It hadn't been used in a while by the looks of it. It had that smell, like old books not touched in years, like the dust that settled and was allowed to stay. I guess I can't be picky though. Nox said that we should lock the doors and sleep, but I couldn't help but be curious. Look around the room, lock the door, and go to sleep. This is Raen, and we're nosy. Something's gonna come up if we look around. So let's have a look. Surely a little look around couldn't hurt, right? If I can just find a candle or something. I fumbled through the room and found my way to a table. I felt over the surface and found a small box. Oh, a pack of matches. That's convenient. I struck the match against the box, and in no time, the table was lit by the soft, warm light. What is all this stuff? So, there's meant to be no light, except there's a candle over there. The stacks of paper, books, knickknacks. What a mess. Look through the books. So many books. I guess this is what I could smell. I picked up a few and skimmed over the pages. They were picture books. But when I looked closer, all of the words were scribbled out. Not only that, but someone had drawn little X's all over the characters' eyes. Kind of creepy. Kind of creepy? That's terrifying. I picked up another book. It was black with a leather cover. When I opened it, I was greeted with messy handwriting. This must be someone's journal. Maybe a child's? I'm not sure it's okay to just read this. Journals are personal, right? I flicked through the pages, but stopped when I saw a certain word. I'm not sure if I should read this, he says as he continues to read it.
Caspian.
It says, I met a man named Caspian. He dresses funny. Mother let him stay at our house. She says he doesn't have one. I flipped to the next page. Cass is the best. He played with me all day, and now he says we can be best friends. I hope we can be together forever. Next page. It won't leave. It says we'll be best friends now. I told it I want Cass back. It made me stay in the basement for 3 days as punishment. Wait, what? I looked closely. Numerous pages had been ripped out. There was a single page left. I flipped over it anxiously. Why are you reading this? Oh, what? thank you. I slammed the book shut. My heart felt like it would burst out of my chest. I shouldn't have read that. Something inside my head really says I shouldn't have read that. I glanced around the room out of the corner of my eye. I'm still the only person in here. I'm overreacting. There's no one hiding in the darkness. I put the book back down and took a deep breath to calm myself. Maybe I should just go to bed. Or you can keep looking. Let's see what happens if we keep looking. Check out the stack of papers. There's a huge stack of papers here. I shuffled through the letters and skimmed over the content. None of it really made any sense. Reach out to the sun and it might burn you. Reach out below and be saved. Give yourself over and you'll be given much more in return. Weird. I picked up another letter. He's changed. He isn't as bright anymore. He doesn't play. During the day, he stays in his room. At night, I don't know where he goes. I'm so happy. He's finally our son. Weird. I shuffled through the pile again. Oh, what's this? At the bottom was a drawing, hastily drawn on a crumpled piece of paper. It was a drawing of two people holding hands. By the looks of it, it was done by a child. Something's wrong with them, though. The person on the left looks like he's covered in blood, and the face on the right is all scribbled over. I put the drawing down. I'm not sure if any of that was important, but it sure was creepy. Should I really look around anymore? Yep, you should look around some more. Is that jewelry? There was something kind of sparkly over there. Oh, look, shiny! I held it up to my match. Beads? This match is lasting a long time. It would have... Wonder how long the matches are. Hasn't burnt him by now. It's a little tangled, but I think it's a necklace. It's gold with white gems. It looked expensive.
It's pretty. Not very helpful.
When I placed it back down, I noticed something else. An earring.
Just one?
The other one was missing. Annoying, but not really out of the ordinary. Whoever owns them must be upset. Well, that wasn't very useful. Why is all this stuff so creepy? Did this used to be someone's room? Looking over the items again, the diary is probably the most interesting. Who wrote that? Knox? I can't ask, but that would be the most logical. Wait. What was that sound? I stayed completely still and listened. It sounded like it was coming from outside. Hide. Hold the door. Let's hide. My eyes darted around the room. Where can I hide? There's no time to think. I dove into the wardrobe and shut the door behind me. Who is that? Surely just Fawn or Leo's sign? Something deep inside me told me not to call out to them. The door he didn't lock the door! He was told to lock the door. Why didn't you lock the door? Oh my god, are you gonna die? You're gonna die. The door creaked open and I heard slow footsteps. They moved around the room. I heard the rustling of paper and something clinking together like metal. Oh god, what is that? What's clinking like metal? I held my breath. Please, gods, if you're there, don't let whatever this is hear me. The walking continued, around and around the room, until it stopped. It It was silent. Have they left? Did you hear the door? No! You're gonna stay there! Nope. I shouldn't get out yet. I haven't heard them leave. Silence just means that they've stopped moving, not that they've left. I tried to keep quiet, but it felt like my heart was beating 1,000,000 times a second. If I have to, I'll stay in here all night. I closed my eyes and listened carefully. Nothing. No moving, no shuffling, or breathing. Finally, I heard movement again. The sound continued for what felt like hours, before I heard the door shut gently. Is it safe? I poked my head out. It was empty. How do you know that they didn't just close the door but they're still in the room? No! It's now or never. I got out and ran for the door. Click. I locked it. Why didn't you do that to start with? Why didn't I lock the door as soon as I came in? Even with the door safely shut, I didn't feel safe at all. I think it's best to just go to sleep tonight, if I can even get any. I scurried into bed and buried myself in the sheets. It felt a little safer. I was finally drifting off to sleep when I heard something. Some kind of tapping? I got out of bed quietly and put my ear to the door. Yes, there's some kind of light tapping sound. After what happened earlier, I feel like I shouldn't check. Oh, but you're going to, aren't you? No! One small peek couldn't hurt, right? Oh, it absolutely could. Oh no, this is how people die in horror movies. I opened the door and peeked out. The tapping sound was louder than before. It was coming from down the hallway. A rhythmic tapping. No matter how hard I tried to squint, it was too dark to see that far. The only way to find out would be to walk closer. I'm not sure about this. On the other hand, I should just lock the door and leave it at that. Whatever it was doesn't concern me. But on the other hand, I'm curious. Oh, of course you are. There's really no point in pretending to weigh up the options. I'm too curious to not check. Why would you do that? I stepped out of my room and took a few steps down the hall. The tapping stopped, but I continued on anyway.
Hello?
My voice echoed down the hall before disappearing. Silence. An empty, hollow silence. A sudden cold shiver ran down my spine. Is someone watching me? I stood completely still and searched around with my eyes. I couldn't see anyone. Okay, I really think I should just go to sleep. I don't want to stay out here.
Boo!
Of course, it's Sign! Why are you like this? Both of you, why are you like this?
Sign? It's not funny.
Sorry. Did I scare you? I couldn't help myself. You looked terrified. I just wanted to surprise you a little.
His little wink is so cute, though. Can't be mad at that face.
What are you even doing out here?
I could ask you this same question.
What? I heard a weird tapping, so I came to see what it was.
Could have died. YOLO.
Oh.
I can see that.
Oh. Whoops. That was me.
I can see that. So, now will you tell me?
How could I sleep after all the mysterious things that Nox guy said? I just wanted to investigate a little. I feel like a real detective.
Aren't you scared?
If I say I'm scared, will you hold me?
Hold you? Isn't that something like you're supposed to do with someone you love?
Love? Who told you that?
Fawn told me. He said that out here, people fall in love and kiss and stuff.
That's a weird way to describe it. You make it sound like you don't know what love is.
I don't. It's new to me.
You're pretty young, right? I'm sure you'll understand eventually.
Aren't you younger than me?
I'm 22.
You're 4 years older than me?
Don't worry, I can teach you all the things you don't know.
What? Anyway, that's not really the point. I only recently learned about it.
This sounds pretty interesting.
Oh, you can see the devil horns growing.
Why don't you come back to my room so we can talk more? I'm starting to feel scared after all.
Well, okay. Being out here is kind of creepy anyway.
Right. I wouldn't want you to trip either, so we should probably hold hands for safety, yeah?
Sure, that sounds fine. I don't think I'll trip. I know I'd tell him I don't think I'll trip. But Raen 100% sounds like the kind of person who will just go along with it. So, sure. That sounds fine. I'm very sorry, Leos.
That sounds reasonable, I think.
His fingers smoothly glided between mine, locking our hands together.
This is the first time I've held hands with anyone like this before.
What, like this?
He held our hands up in front of my face. The way our fingers laced together was kind of nice.
Yeah.
It feels nice, right?
Yeah.
Sign pulled me along like this, all the way to his room. The door shut behind us with a soft thud and Sign quickly locked the door.
Better safe than sorry, right?
He locks doors.
Yeah.
Sign's room was nearly identical to mine. The same bed, the same table, the same wardrobe. The same amount of dust. They definitely hadn't had many guests lately. What's the point of such a big house if it's just going to sit empty? He sat down on the edge of his bed and beckoned me closer. So I pulled up a chair and sat down facing him.
We haven't really had much time alone, huh?
Well, we only just met.
This is a good point.
True. It just feels like we've known each other for much longer. Let's use this time to get to know each other. I want to be close with you, too. I'm so jealous of Fawn and Leos. They get to cling to you all they want.
Yeah. I want to be friends, too.
Friends.
Oh. Yeah. Friends.
Friends is definitely not what's on this devious little boy's mind.
Hey, I have an idea. We could be really special friends. How does that sound?
Oh no.
Yeah.
What has Raen gotten himself into? He really does need Leos to look after him.
There's a good boy. But first, let's continue that discussion from earlier.
Or Fawn to awkwardly shriek at him when he's doing something he shouldn't.
What do you mean you don't know what love is?
I don't really know what to say. In Aurelia Cavella, it just doesn't exist. I only just started learning about it from Fawn.
No love? None at all?
No. We just get matched up by the speaker. No love involved. Not that I fully understand love yet, though.
Then what about sex? You can just fuck whoever you'd like, no strings attached? That sounds amazing!
What?
Wait, are you kidding? You don't even know about sex?
I don't know anything about it. I've only heard a little.
But they have kids in Aurelia Cavella, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know where they come from.
That's right.
Wow, you've actually lived in a bubble your entire life. I'm almost impressed.
Actually, there wasn't a bubble. We were surrounded by...
Okay, I get it.
Oh, he's so dense. Oh, it's painful. Teach him, Sign.
So what did Fawn tell you?
He told me that you get a warm feeling in your chest, and that's how you know you're in love. then you get married and kiss and stuff. I met another weird guy who explained a little more to me too.
That's all? You have a lot to
Another
learn,
weird
then.
guy.
If you want, I'm happy to teach you.
Teach me?
Yeah, you know, for, educational purposes. Fawn only told you about one side of love anyway, the boring side. I can teach you about the other side, if you'd like.
That's kind of him.
Well,
Yes.
if you're offering,
Kind. It's not horny of him at all. Definitely kind.
please teach me.
Oh,
Seriously?
boy.
Yay! I was sure you'd say no.
He looked pretty excited. It made my heart beat a little faster too. There's so much I don't know. Sign's really a nice guy.
So, where do we start?
Don't worry, we can deflower you one petal at a time.
I love the phrasing of that. He stood up in front of me, straightened his back, and put his hands behind him like a teacher.
Why don't we start with a little theory, then move on to something more practical? We'll have to take it slow for a pure boy like you.
Okay.
Oh, Sign. You are magnificent.
Let's start with something simple. Your blue-haired princess was right about love. Mostly. Fluffy feelings, love, marriage, all that soft stuff. Blech. Boring. You know what comes after that? The good stuff.
The good stuff.
I guess this is almost a lesson on the birds and the bees, huh?
The birds and the bees?
You can do all that gushy, fluffy crap, have some boring sex, pop out a few children, and ruin your life. Or you can skip all the boring stuff. You don't have to be in love to fuck someone. And I promise you, we don't need to have any kids. Wait. Does that mean you were walking around a sex shop with no clue what was going on?
I still have no clue.
Oh. Oopsie.
I still have no clue.
He paced back and forth, deep in thought. He stopped before turning to face me.
I mean, you still have a dick, right?
Wow.
What?
I hope you don't mind me taking a seat.
Okay then.
So, like I was saying, you do have a dick, right?
He ran his fingertips through my hair before slowly dragging them down my body, lower and lower.
It sure feels like you have one.
Oh no. He brushed against my pants with his long, slender fingers.
Of course I do.
So then, surely you've put it to use once or twice.
To use?
Are you being shy with me? That's not allowed. You have to answer all the questions your teacher gives you. Just because you have no concept of love doesn't mean you have no natural instincts, right? So, go on. Tell me. I want to know all about you jerking off.
Oh no! His fingers kept teasing, barely touching, but enough to make me feel something.
Of course I have. But I couldn't help it.
His fingers felt all over my body, as if he was searching for something. I let it sent a shiver down my spine. And the way he was talking to me, so seductive and smooth.
Of course you couldn't. You don't have to feel bad. That's what it's there for. That's what sex is. Like the feeling you gave yourself, but 100 times better. 1,000 times better. If you do it with me.
Nice advertisement.
Sounds interesting, right? So...
With his arms wrapped around my neck, he stared straight into my eyes.
How about that practical lesson?
I don't think it goes much further than this, but because I'm afraid of YouTube, we're gonna say that's enough for tonight. I think it's still a fairly tame scene from the beta, but I'm not gonna push it. And it's an encouragement for you to download it and play it for yourself. You can see all the things that I haven't done. That's enough for tonight.
I think that's enough for tonight.
I swallowed hard. It felt good, but I'm not sure. Do friends do this? I wouldn't call Sign a friend yet, either.
Is it a little too overwhelming? We can always resume our fun another time. The harder the chase, the more fun catching you will be anyway.
Oh, that voice. Dang, Sign!
What?
Nothing.
He quickly hopped off my lap and pulled me up from my seat. Seeing him this close up, he really is kind of beautiful. Smooth skin, big green eyes.
Well, off you go then. Wouldn't want your lover or bodyguard to get jealous, would we?
Who?
Nighty-night!
Bye-bye! He pushed me out of the door and slammed it quickly in my face. Lover? By bodyguard, he probably means Leos. I heard the lock slide into place on the other side of his door. Anyway, it's probably for the best if I head back and get some sleep now. Once I got into my room, I locked the door and jumped straight under the covers. I closed my eyes, finally. What a long day. I feel like so much has happened. Although, that's been every day lately. Oh, this bit hasn't been voiced. Destiny. Listen to. Speaker. More. The light shall guide you. Listen to the speaker more?
Destiny. Listen to.
Oh.
Destiny. Listen to. Speaker. More. The light shall guide you.
Oh, this song. A cold wind blew through the outskirts of Oxabor, where two men walked side by side. Not quickly, but at a speed to enjoy the night's atmosphere. They continued like this for a while, quietly and comfortable, before one of them broke the silence.
It hasn't changed a bit, has it?
It feels the same. Oppressive and cold. I'm still not sure about this.
The people aren't any less creepy either. If anything, they're even more tense than before.
Ilron, you're changing the subject.
Ilron.
What, me? I
He
would never.
has a name.
All right, I promise. I'll do everything I can to make sure they aren't harmed.
Oh, they're so pretty. Look at them. Look at his fang. Oh, I love him so much. Look at that fang and those pretty eyes and that hair. Such a troublesome son, but so pretty. The green-haired man watched the other out of the corner of his eye. Smooth, fair skin, with 2 moles under his lip. Peach hair, fluffy enough that he almost wanted to touch it. Blank eyes that still moved to watch him back, even if they couldn't see him.
You feel the same about him, right?
The moment we met, I felt something, but he's... I don't know exactly what he is.
Do you think he could be the same as you?
No, but he feels similar. I feel drawn to him.
Sure would be a shame if he died before we could work it out.
Ilron.
Varys.
Varys.
We won't let that happen.
But wait a minute. Haven't we already met a Varys? What's that about?
Anyway, I was surprised by how much you teased them. You're usually much friendlier.
But it worked, didn't it? We learned a lot.
And from the reactions to your questions...
It couldn't be from anywhere else. Finally, an actual lead. After all these years of searching. And then, you can finally go back.
Yeah.
Oh, this song, that voice acting. Oh, those faces. Varys extended his hand slightly, reaching out to something unknown. Oh, Pat is just so good as Varys, though. Listen to that. He's so calm and almost serene in his wording. He has such an atmosphere to him.
This whole town feels like death. Like sadness and terror. But I can't see a single soul. These murders have gone on for longer than you've been alive. But if they've only ramped up in the last few years, hundreds, if not thousands, must have died. So, where are their souls? They can't just have disappeared.
I don't like where this is going.
Me either. Ilron, I know I told you that we have to protect them, but promise me that if it becomes too dangerous, we'll leave.
But
your life isn't worth throwing away for me.
Fine. You don't do anything reckless either.
Varys turned his eyes back to Ilron and smiled.
You're being very obedient today.
Oh, look at him. He's blushing. Someone that can make the green gremlin blush. That is too much power. Who are you, Varys?
That's not something people usually call me.
I guess I'm lucky then. I get to see all these different sides of you.
Oh, they're both so perfect.
If you're cold, tell me, and we can stay somewhere warmer, okay?
No need. You'll keep me warm, right?
Yes. Yes, he will.
Of course.
Oh. Aww. The night would be chilly and dark, with only the waxing moonlight to illuminate their path. But it was still more welcoming than the town. Oh. It is so good. Wow, so many people supported. Wow, look at all those names.
Thank you all for playing the extended demo of the Divine Speaker. We hope you're looking forward to what's coming next.
It already feels like so long ago that we released the original demo. I'm getting all choked up.
You goddamn gremlin.
You weren't in the original demo.
I'm sure everyone agrees that the wait to meet me was worth it.
Yes. Yes, it was. I love you.
Moving on. Some pretty exciting things happened this time, right?
I've met so many new people. Sign seems like a nice guy, but he's a little touchy-feely. Lilas and Nikos were both amazing people. I'm not so sure about some of the people I met, though.
What? Do you mean me?
It could be me too. I wasn't trying to be scary.
Well, I think that inviting people to your house in the middle of the night and locking them in might be seen as slightly unfriendly.
Slightly unfriendly.
And I think that inviting yourself into someone else's wagon might be seen as a little rude.
Oh, touché.
I'm sorry for his behavior. I've told him before that we should ask first.
This happened more than once?
That's pretty bad.
Oh, come on. It's not a big deal. I'm not that bad.
You're kind of shady.
Sometimes you gotta be a little shady to get what you want. You'll learn one day, kid. I'll try to behave. I'll try to behave, is what I meant to say.
We didn't get a chance to meet yet, but I'm sure we'll get along well, Rain.
You should introduce yourself to everyone.
You're right. My name's Varys, and Ilron and I tend to travel together.
That's strange. I never saw you two together. I feel like I've heard that name before.
Don't worry about that.
That's not suspicious at all. Since we didn't all get a chance to interact yet, why don't we play a game to get to know each other better? Everyone has to point out another person's best quality.
Oh, me first. Nox, you have glasses that would woo the pants off of a grandma.
Wait, what? Is that a compliment? Then, Ilron.
Come on, you don't need to think that hard.
Well, for someone that obviously doesn't bathe often, your smell isn't
What do you mean he doesn't bathe often? Oh, Ilron, you really are a gremlin.
Ouch.
Then, Rain, I can feel a kindness that comes from deep within your heart. A love of people and a want to help make the world a better place. I can tell that you would do anything in your power to assist a person in need. Trust me that when I say a soul like yours is hard to come by. You have so much to give. Rain?
I wasn't expecting anything quite that deep. When I think of your best quality, it's a little awkward after what you said, but you really have killer legs.
Oh my god, killer legs! Varys, that brat's right. Look at those legs, they go on for miles.
Hey, I'm not a brat.
Killer legs. Yes, I can see it.
So smooth and thin. Now just imagine them wrapped around.
What?
Thank you for playing the extended demo, everyone.
Ilron, you're so
I think it's time we wrapped up. See you later.
Say bye-bye, Noxy boy.
Noxy boy.
Is that meant to be me?
Goodbye. See you all soon.
I highly encourage going and downloading the game, supporting the devs on Patreon. Yeah, there's a Discord that you could join. There's always something going on there. That the credits made me cry a little bit because that is me, and I've never seen it in the game before, and it's a little bit overwhelming to be asked to sing for something that I love so much, and to be trusted with something like that, particularly with other vocalists like Emmy Evans, who is intimidatingly right before the credits. And if you play video games, you probably know her as one of the singers for something that I cannot pronounce, Nier Automata. And the opening song is done by the amazingly talented Morgan Berry, and there's so much talent on this, and I'm so grateful and overwhelmed by being trusted to be a part of it at all. So, thank you for watching my playthrough. Thank you for sticking with me for the very long videos. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you go and check out the pages and the Twitters and the Discords and everything like that, and most importantly, buy the game when it comes out, because it's gonna be long, and I fear for all the YouTubers who do everything. So thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in whatever I do next. Bye.